around 597 forever.
I know. Yeah, crazy. Okay. Welcome to Stitch and Stuff. I'm Sarah,
And I'm Kim.
and we're glad you're joining us today to talk about our stitching and other stuff. Happy August. Here we are. Coming close to school starting again.
I saw something very funny that just fit me very well on Facebook. It was a meme, and it said,
That fall.
August, the last hot, sweaty month standing between me and pumpkin season.
That sounds like you. It's not too smoky here. Is it smoky over there at all?
No, but there's a lot of fires burning all of a
There are
sudden.
quite a
We
few.
talked- There's one in a big one outside of Vantage, I heard. We were talking last week about how there weren't that many in Washington, but the last week.
Yeah,
there's
but
been
even
a few
still, I
more.
don't feel like there's very many.
No, but they popped up after we only saw one burning last week.
Yeah,
Now there's
right.
like 3 maybe, but no, we don't have any smoke yet. And we were supposed to get up over 90 today, but they're saying now only 88. So it's gonna be
Wow.
a cool down.
Yeah, it's not too hot here, I don't think either.
It's so interesting to the high.
We're
Yes.
supposed to get in the 90s tomorrow, but then it just kind of evens out. It's going to bounce around between the high 70s and mid 80s the rest of the week. I'm sure I think we might even get a little bit of rain
Yeah,
on
We're-
Wednesday.
we're a little hazy here.
Oh no, they took away our rain chance.
Oh, I would like a rain chance.
I know. I was
There's a fire up by, kind of up on I-90 near Ellensburg. That's probably the
Yeah.
Vantage one.
Yeah, that's the.
Then
Vantage.
there's kind of a bigger one northwest of us, up in the mountains. And
Yeah.
I think that's where our smoke is probably coming from.
Yeah.
And
No.
that's called the Cow Canyon fire, if anybody
Yeah.
wants to track our fires. And it's burning almost 5,000 acres so far.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
think
I'm
that's
sure. I'm sure we'll get smoke eventually. It seems like when we started getting wildfire smoke every year, like about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, we didn't get any until like.
Yeah, this is later though than
Yeah.
it has been the last couple of years when it's been so bad earlier. So
Yeah.
I'm thankful. I don't like relish the thought of there being a lot of smoke in September, but I am thankful that we've had this far not to have it. So
It's worse. I think it's worse to have all that wildfire smoke when it's super hot out too.
mhm.
Just so stifling.
Yeah, feels yucky. So
So
it
anyway,
is
yeah,
dry here though. I wish we would get another bout of rain. That'd be nice.
our grouse is turning brown. Our grass is turning brown, but it always comes back.
Yeah.
Just in one section, I think it doesn't get as much shade. My hanging pots look like death because I didn't water them. One night I didn't go water.
Really? That did it?
You got to go out there and just prune back a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff. And I don't know if they'll come back or not. I probably should get some other plants and fill in, but I don't know if a lot of the nurseries are even selling many plants anymore. They kind of,
Yeah, they might.
July,
Maybe
they-
some fallish ones like
yeah, the fallish ones come in, but like trying to find Sweet Williams, we were talking, Sarah and I, about Sweet Williams, or otherwise known as dianthus, and they used to be around here all the time, and I don't feel like I've seen them as often as I used to, but I would like to put some of those in my pot because they'll kind of drape if they're,
They're like that. Yeah,
and-
I have a nice dianthus and it's not drapey. It's in the ground though.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, I think I might deadhead it and see if it'll bloom again. 'cause
Yeah.
it's
And
super
they,
pretty when it blooms.
I feel like when they bloom for a long time. Like it takes a long time for those blooms
Yeah,
to.
it's been blooming since late
Mhm.
spring probably.
Yeah.
With dianthus.
Anyway, that's our exciting weather news. Woohoo.
Yeah, what else? This week I had a dentist appointment and a doctor appointment for my wrists.
I have a
They're
dentist.
sending me for a shock therapy. No, what's it called?
Electric shock.
I forget,
testing.
like the exploratory procedure where they check to see how bad the nerve is being compressed, basically. They shock you up through your elbow. Nerve compression test, I think. Nerve compression.
Maybe I would need a Valium for that.
I mean,
I'm getting to a point where I need a Valium to go to the dentist. I had to go to the dentist on Tuesday. I told Sarah, it's a 2-hour appointment. I'm like, she goes,
Yeah.
what the heck? I said,
I might need a
"No,
Valium for a 2-hour test.
I haven't
I would
been-
need laughing gas for sure.
I went-
Ask for that.
No, it makes me super dizzy. I had it
It's
before.
just a really low dose, like just a light amount.
Maybe. I already worry about going because if I lay on my back sometimes for very long, I get vertigo. And so when they tip you way back, I'm a little nervous about that. And I'm gonna have to tell them that they might have to break this appointment up. But
Or just make sure they don't tip you so that your head is facing down. They can modify. Say, I have like chronic vertigo. I cannot have my head lower than my body.
I'm gonna tell them that this time around. And the last time I went was 2019, like in December. And it was my first time back after a big long break too, because I'm just so bad about going to the dentist. It just freaks me out. And the older I've gotten, the more it freaks me out. I didn't used to think twice about it. And I think it's the money. Because I always know they're going to find something that's going to cost me a ton of money. It's not so much the work. Well, it's sometimes the work.
Yeah.
After that one bad dentist I had.
Yeah.
But they said, oh yeah, we're going to have to book you. It's been a long time, Mrs. Gatz. We're going to have to book you for 2 hours. I said, 2 hours? She goes, well, we're going to have to do x-rays and we're going to have to do your pockets. And I'm like,
you could ask to break it apart and just say, no, I can only do an hour at a time because my anxiety is way too high. I'll come back and you can do the perio check and all of that another time.
I might, depending on how I feel, I might just say, you know what, I can't do this today.
I'm not sleeping because I'm dreading this appointment. Let's break it up. I had a perio cleaning, one of those pocket cleanings this week. And when I had done it at my old dentist too, I don't like, they used some like sonic buzzy cleaner sprayer thingy, like maybe like not a sonic air, a water pick on steroids. But these people didn't do that. They just used a scraper and they numbed me, which was nice. So I didn't feel anything. They did not like an injection, but just the topical. So my gums weren't in any pain and they were super gentle and I didn't have any pain later either. I thought I would go home and be sore and stuff.
And there's no reason for dental care to have to be.
I know, I was really impressed. It was just, she was great. And I was like, wow, wow, this is so nice. I mean,
and I make it sound like I don't have a good dentist. I do like my dentist and he's very careful. He knows about my anxiety. And he knows, he's always been really good. And he was going to retire. His son finally finished dental school. So his son is there now.
Oh.
And Dr. Dagelmeyer, and he's working less time. But he, like, when Dad had to go in, Dad just had a crown done. And when he had to go in for it, I don't know, Dagelmeyer said, oh, I'm going to take this one. So, I mean, like, that terrible dentist that pulled my tooth, he's gone. So I don't have to run into his little smiley face anymore when I go in there.
Mariner just got a grand slam.
Ooh, so anyway, I need to go. It's one of those things that the more you don't go, then the more anxious you are because you know you should go. And so I have that, and then I have a big staff meeting at work on Thursday. We used to do them twice a year. They used to be in person. We used to rent out like a big meeting area because our company was too big to meet on. So we didn't have any place big enough. And it's usually, business meeting and check in with all the different teams and programs and recognitions and then kind of a social time. Oh, they do like some trainings. And it's usually like 4 hours long. Mm-hmm. And then they've been doing them since COVID over Zoom, which is, everybody's got their camera off, so you don't see anybody anyway. You're just there for the updates. Mm-hmm. And now they're doing one in person for the first time, and it's going to be outside at the Kent office. Oh. And they're going to have, it's catered. And some people, they're going to have a Zoom option for those that don't want to drive. We have several locations that are kind of far away. They're not really far away from each other, but the traffic makes it feel like they're far away from each other. So some people also might not be comfortable coming to an in-person yet, although all the therapists are in person now anyway. We have one employee on my team that's not allowed to come because she didn't get vaccinated. She's probably the only employee that has not been vaccinated. And the only way they made the exception for her was that the federal mandate did not come down for healthcare workers. Oh. And she's not face-to-face with patients. She's at home. We're all at home. So, and they didn't want to lose her. I mean, she's really good. I would have been really sad if they had let her go. Yeah. She's a huge asset to our team. So I'm kind of bummed. I really want to see her. She and I really clicked when we used to work in the office. She has a very funny sense of humor. So I don't get to see her, but but I'll get to the rest of my team. So that'll be fun.
That'll
But
be
that's like a whole chunk. I have to kind of clear my dashboard at work so that I don't have a bunch of stuff waiting for me.
Yeah.
It's like 9 to 1, 9 to 2, something like that. So it'll be a long one. I don't know if I'll stay for the whole time. They're going to do games and stuff. And they're probably, if you want to participate, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. So we'll see. But
yeah,
so that's kind of big news. I didn't think we'd ever have an in-person meeting again, ever.
I know. That is kind of a big deal because everything's been so online.
And you know, being a medical type facility, our therapists are still wearing N95s. Families are able to wear cloth masks if they're well fitted, and so they've relaxed that a while ago for the families. But and I don't know if we have a restriction on how many people can come into the appointment. I know we just started having in-person interpreters because for a long time they've been over the phone in a session. Can you imagine what a treat that was?
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine doing a speech therapy session with an interpreter over the phone.
On a Zoom. I mean, like on a Zoom.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, really, our therapists deserve.
They should have a medal. That's a lot.
And for a long time. I mean, we're going on 3 years now.
Whoa,
right?
that's crazy.
21. Yeah. Anyway, that's my big exciting week. Ooh. It's gonna be amazing.
I have
fun stuff.
We have some fun stuff coming up. We're taking the girls with a friend and with my brother and his wife to Moses Lake, which is a town. It's a couple hours from here, smack in the central Washington. It's gonna be hot, but there's a water park there, and it's not like a huge themed Six Flags type water park. It's like a community pool, but they have slides and a lazy river and all these things. And the admission is pretty reasonable. You can get in it's gone up. It used to be real reasonable.
Really, like it was like $5 for the whole day for my kids to go in, each of them.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is now, but
it's at least double that, probably more, but it's still a
cheaper.
pretty good deal as far as like a whole day.
You can bring your own food in.
Bring in your own food.
They have food
come in and
there.
stay the whole time. Yeah. Anyway, so we've been excited. We didn't go last year. I can't remember why. Partly smoke, maybe.
I think so, and I think it was closed.
And it might have been closed. Yeah, they have been open. So we'll double check before we go, but that's the plan this week. So we're going to go Tuesday and Wednesday and go do that. So I'm excited.
We started taking, when my big boys now were middle school, high school, and at some point one of them was college, we would take them every year for like 2 nights. We'd stay 2 nights in a hotel and spend, I think, 2 full days in the park. They have a surfing, one of those surfing,
yeah, what do you call
flow
it?
rider, kind of a flow rider thing
Okay.
that my boys loved the last few
You're
years.
going to try it again this year. Yeah, you are.
Anyway, so
I never went until I had little ones. So I was probably maybe not on those.
And they've got a beautiful pool. They've got a beautiful kids splashy area pool.
It's exciting. We're excited to go.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
And you know why we went there? If you can believe it or not, we started going there because A, it was cheap. B, it was nice. C, we could always guarantee sun. Because at the time that we started going, our summers weren't like they are now.
Yeah.
We would have cruddy in the mean, like it would be rainy, like or cold. And
know for sure that you would have sun on any particular.
Yeah, and when you want to go on vacation, you kind of want to know you're going to have nice weather, and we could always count on it. We never ever got rained out there. Windy sometimes, but not rain.
Yeah, yeah. Probably the first thing now is smoke. Like sometimes when the smoke is really bad, they'll close for air quality, but it hasn't been like that this year. So
we would watch clouds coming from the distance, and they would literally just circle around and go by. It was crazy. Yeah. It was. I have a lot of happy memories of being there. And we just kind of pitch out, knit, read, eat.
Yep. We're excited. We needed something fun. Jesse's finishing school tomorrow for his summer term. And so he's taking the week off and he's going to come too.
Yay.
He is taking the week off. If you're new joining us, we didn't really introduce much, but kind of just jumped in chatting, but I don't know how to say this. Every time I'm like, that's my mom.
I'm Sarah's mom. Sarah is Millie.
This is my kid. That's my mom. Here's my kid.
Here for the crafting. Steve.
I haven't found an elegant way to say we're a mother-daughter duo plus a bunch of daughters.
Mother, daughter, daughters. Mother, daughter, daughters.
Mother, daughter, daughter.
No,
Three
it's mother,
generations.
mother, daughter, mother, daughters.
We're a triple gen. That's what I should say. We're a triple gen stitching community, stitching channel, triple generation. Triple gen. That's what I'm saying from now on. If you're new here, we're a triple gen stitching channel. And I think everybody's ready to share, except for I lost them during our chatty
I
time.
just realized I had to fill out a questionnaire to join the Facebook group on stitching, and it asked how long you've been stitching. 40 years with a little break in there.
Yeah. Well,
you were born.
you started stitching before I was born? Oh yeah. Then.
I started the year I
I'm
got
not 40 yet.
started the year I got married.
Second.
I've been stitching 35 years, almost 34 years. I probably started when I was 5.
Probably. I probably started you early.
I think that I was around kindergarten when you started teaching me the first little project.
Mm-hmm.
That means about 34 years because I'm almost 39. I'm getting old. I've been stitching a long time. That's a long time.
How many?
34 years. And I pretty much stitched consistently. I took a little break when the girls were born. I was knitting more. But I think I always still had a cross stitch project for the most part, almost all.
I figured out that my high school graduation was 42 years ago. I tell you, that makes you feel really old when you start thinking about things like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's a long time. A lot of life has happened in those 42 years.
Yeah.
A lot.
Someday, Millie. You will.
Who's going first? Oh, we got, okay.
Millie can go first. She's been waiting here patiently.
Yes. It's a kit she got for her birthday. She's bombing along on it.
Okay, go ahead.
Working on floral boots.
Cute. Millie is how old?
11.
9.
You're new. 9.
I don't know. I never know.
Depends on what day. Okay, let's see this. Oh, wow. Look at those pretty butterflies.
I started to do the blue for the boots.
Yeah, you're starting the boots.
Wow, Millie, that's so pretty.
She just started on the top of those boots there.
Well, you'll be done before you know it. Now, you have all the flowers done?
Yeah. Sorry.
All
yes.
the back stitching and the flowers is done?
Not all the back stitching, just some of the back stitching. But all the flowers.
Wow, you'll have that done.
Let's do the stitching first, and you guys can show the other thing. Okay, Liddy, go ahead. Do you have stitching to show?
Here, sorry. Blossom House by Little Stitch Girl.
Tell why you're working on this so hard. What's your hope?
That I can enter it into the fair and get a free ticket to go.
When is the fair for you guys?
It's in September. It's a few weekends in September. So I think we have to register by August 26th.
I finished
So
the tree. And
Oh, so cute.
kind of lit a fire under her, though, let me tell you.
Yeah. Do you know? Oh,
isn't
Never
it
mind.
cute?
We have a lot to
So-
go.
so what do you have left to do? You got the house pretty much done. You got the tree done.
I have to do this grass over here, the flowers, and these little flowers.
And the border.
And the border. I forgot about the border. And the border. Keep forgetting about
You better go right now, sit down and get stitching.
She pretty much is just kind of nonstop stitching since we decided yesterday that she was going to enter that in the fair if we could get it done, which I
If you
think.
don't get that one done, is there another one she could get to? That she could enter?
Well, yeah,
I
we
have
talked about
other finished projects, but that one's like
The one you really want to do.
it's definitely the best.
it's the best
quality
one.
of your
Best.
Best quality.
But the bees would be cute. The ones you've been working on with the bees, that would work too.
It's just my
I was just thinking about the fabric, that how big of a piece of fabric she will have when she cuts those bees apart, because they've got those adorable fabric covered hoops at Hobby Lobby. But I don't know if she'd have enough fabric because she's doing multiple ones.
Right.
Anyway, I was just
I
thinking
might
about
be able
that.
to find some online, some small ones, I bet.
She could enter 2 things.
Yeah, right. I think actually you can enter up to like 6 things if you pay the entry fee in the
Yeah.
fine arts like building.
Oh, that'd be fun. It'd be fun to come over there for your fair.
Millie's going to enter a watercolor, and I think she should enter the forest
Friends.
woodland friends
Yeah.
fall one. I
Yeah.
think you could enter that one,
You enter 2 things.
and maybe Swan Princess or something. You can
Oh,
enter
maybe
several.
come over
Maybe
there.
you'll
Maybe
win a
we can
prize.
Maybe we can come over there.
Ooh, that would be fun to go to the fair with you.
If you do it on a weekend though. And we
I think
could
I
do-
might enter my joyful world. I need to get a frame. If I can find a frame at Hobby Lobby that would fit it, I'll
Oh.
frame it and I think I'll enter that
Yeah. Cool.
because I love that one.
I don't have
Okay.
any stitching,
No stitching from Rosie this week. Why?
but I
Did
do.
you lose your stitching or you just haven't done it?
I just haven't done it, and I did listen.
And you
I was
lost it?
looking at home.
Did you find it?
No.
You haven't found your current stitching project?
I haven't.
I don't know why, because there's a spot for these to go all the time.
I know it wasn't in there. I remember putting it in there.
Okay.
Walk
We'll clean
away.
up. Can you take your cross stitch off my rising bread? Thank you. Okay. But we do have, there has been some other thing that they've been working on this week a lot. So I said they could share a few, 3 or a handful. You can either show a handful or your
four. I
3
had
favorites.
four, like, my
What are these
four
called?
first
Talk about these for people who maybe don't know what these are.
They're called perler beads. They are like, you set them up on a little board. There are these little pegs, a bunch of them, and see they've got holes in them. You stick them on a board in a pattern, and then you iron them, and they
Melt.
Melt
Melt.
together and you've got your
Art.
picture or
Yeah.
your art. So
Mhm.
Rosie, show what you did.
I did a little bee.
Those
Cute.
are little plastic pegs. I'm sure a lot of people have seen these. They sell them
Yeah.
at Michael's and Joanne. They've been around forever. But if you've never seen those, that's what they are. And you melt them together.
And then I made a little watermelon with a bite taken out of it.
Yeah, cute.
And I made a stand for it so that it stands up.
Oh, cute. That's great.
Yeah.
And then I made a rainbow.
Oh, so where are you going to put all these little things?
That's
We
always
give
the
them
question.
away as gifts, and we like just kind of keep them in our little treasures.
The little food things, can they be for your American Girl dolls?
Oh, that'd be cute.
Yeah.
I was telling they could be like
Yeah,
a
like this
cute
one, Like this one here. 'cause
charm
it's
thing
like
too.
a deer
That could be like a cute like
picture.
carpet too for
A
could be like a
little
carpet in your dollhouse or
So I
calico.
made
or
this
something.
deer. It could be a carpet.
Yeah,
I
that'd
gave
be
this
cute.
to Dad. No, you gave that to me.
All kinds of things you can do with them.
So
Yeah,
really
look at that
pretty.
pretty design.
I-
Did you follow a
that's
pattern for
Yes,
that?
I followed a pattern for it, but then I filled it in the blue so it made a square.
I like
It
that.
was supposed to be just the deer.
Or it could be like a blanket. It's kind
Then
of
she
hard.
gave
but-
it. I also
love this
made
one,
this
though.
flower.
Yeah, the purple pansy. That's pretty.
Mhm. She goes, it's not purple and it's not a pansy.
Looks
I
like
think it looks like a
pansy
pansy to me.
No, it's
Kinda
just
has
the
the-
Hawaiian flower thingy. I don't know what.
You think it's like a
Yeah,
Hawaiian
it's-
flower?
It does.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gardenia or something? I don't know what.
maybe. Well, they're not purple
I think
or
it looks
blue.
like it could be a
It's
pansy.
not a purple or pansy.
It is blue.
No,
It's
yeah,
blue. But it has a
Oh. Wasn't you doing the purple one earlier when we were FaceTiming with you?
no, it was blue. She just didn't correct you. Okay,
No.
Melanie, show yours.
Okay. So I'm making a bunch of these little fruits.
What are you gonna do with them?
Keep them.
They would be cute for your American Girl
I
dolls, actually.
also might make them into like a charm necklace charms. I could poke a needle. through.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think if you got a needle really hot and poked it through and kind of enlarged.
This is a banana. This is the cherries. Watermelon.
Cute.
Blueberry.
I'm slipping a 4th one in under the radar, huh?
You said I could not.
I said a handful, which I guess
You said,
technically
and then
is-
I asked you. if I
Very
could-
cute.
First
Oh,
one,
Very cute. They would be a cute little charmy thing.
I know,
Yeah.
they would be cute little charm bracelet
I
or necklace.
made a lot, and there's some at our neighbor's house that she was gonna iron because we started doing.
We have
them
other
the other
ones, like
day.
Pineapple and
Oh,
apples and apricots and
Raspberry.
raspberries and peaches. She's been making all kinds of fruit.
been
Now
busy.
you gotta do veggies. Carrots, the carrot would be cute. Or cupcakes and cakes and ice cream and stuff. That'd be
Eggplant.
cute. Eggplant.
Eggplant.
You could do an eggplant, tomato. Tomato would look like a apple. Well, thanks for sharing.
Thank you, girls.
Love you. She's gonna go watch Mariners now.
Uh-huh.
So we do love to feature other people, not just my darling girls, but other friends. So we have a friend to feature this week, and it is Teresa. Teresa sent in. Teresa said a few weeks ago she doesn't think she's that good of a stitcher, right? Wasn't that Teresa?
I think that was Teresa.
I thought so. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she sent in the yeah, I thought so.
I think you're a liar, Teresa. I'm just gonna call
You're
you out on
crazy.
that.
This is an adorable one. And actually you're enabling Millie, who looked at it and said, I want to stitch that. So we will be buying that pattern eventually here for her to stitch
Super
because
cute.
she loves it. So I'm going to put the picture right here. What did we say? I had looked up the name. Serena Sprout from Autumn Lane Stitchery. And Teresa said it's on 14 count Aida, and she wasn't sure about the color, but it's a beautiful lime green. And the lime green doesn't, I don't feel like show through probably as well in the picture as I bet it does in person.
I could see a green tone, but I didn't see
Yeah.
lime.
And she used DMC. So it's gorgeous.
The colors are, I'm sure that's partly why Millie loves it. Those colors.
Yeah, the colors. And I'm sure she loves the flowers and the swirls.
Yep, that whole thing.
Oh, it is really beautiful. So Teresa, keep sending in those finishes because I love to see them.
Yeah, and I don't see a lot of people showing Autumn Lane Stitchery.
No, I haven't seen a lot. There's a couple that I see pretty often, but I had never seen this one before.
The one I've seen is that one that I bought, the Autumn Town.
Yeah, I've seen that one a lot.
Times.
And then I've seen that Queen of the
Sea or
Dark Queen of the Sea, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
Several. I feel like I've seen that pop up several places. On Flosstubes and stuff. So that one I've seen, but this one is super cute. I like it.
Super cute.
And also stitched really nicely. So thank you for sending that in. If you're watching and you have something to share that you would like to have featured, we would love to. It makes our channel way more interesting to see what other people are doing too. And we love that community feeling. So
send it to our email
in
the box below.
Yeah, stitchandstuffxs@gmail.com. So send that, and I just do it first come, first shared. So I think I'm all caught up at the moment. So if you send it, you have a good chance of being featured.
Yeah, please do. We really love that.
Yeah, it makes me super happy. Really happy. Plus, it enables us now.
Yeah, it does. There was a couple other, made me go look at Autumn Lane again, and I just haven't kept up with them. And there was a couple that I thought, oh, I kind of like these, even though I'm not normally, and they're Halloween ones. Not normally, I like Halloween, I like cutesy Halloween. And these are not cutesy, but they're not harsh either. They're just, I don't know, I like them.
I know.
You should go check out their webpage.
Yeah, I'll put a link to Autumn Lane down below so you can easily.
They have Christmas designs, and they got spring and summer. They have it. I looked at their drop down. You can search by
go to cross stitch patterns and then see different categories.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot we were going to do your fully finishes before, but that's okay.
I have
jumped ahead.
4 fully finishes and a fixed one.
4 plus a fixed one?
Yeah. So do you remember a while back I did the needle book? I did the tomato time needle book. Doing? Well, it was made to have your needles here and closed. And I thought, I don't like that. I saw somebody else do it so that their little girl is on the front.
Right, which makes more sense.
I know. So I took my thing out, and their needles are upside down right now, but I put them over here on the inside. So on that back is that with my initials, which is kind of bare, but I don't care. And then the front, so she shows. I thought, well, that's way more cute.
Yeah.
To have displayed on my little end table where my stitching stuff is.
Otherwise, you only see the girl when you open up your needle book.
Yeah. I thought, well, that's kind of. I thought, why didn't I think of that? So anyway,
good idea.
I did message Heather. I said, you should think about this because I think it's a cute idea.
Because is Heather stitching it?
Yeah. She said she was starting it last week.
Oh yeah.
So it's just a cute pattern. And this was by.
Who was that by? Is it
Pineberry
Lane or
maybe it was in the Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine.
Yeah.
One of the 2021 editions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. So I fixed that the other night, and then I had shown this previous finish in a bigger frame, and I didn't like it because remember I had mildew because this piece I stitched a long time ago and it got wet, unbeknownst to me. And I didn't like it in the 8x10 frame because I couldn't cover up the mildew. And I mean, it was faint, but I could see it. Plus, one of the reds had bled. So I decided to put it in a 5x7 frame. And even though the borders are pretty close, I don't care.
Cute, though.
I like it much better. And it's smaller, it's easier to display.
Sorry.
And probably I have shelving above me, and I've got one of the.
Hello. Somebody come turn off their timer.
Oh, I have a
It.
piece up here that was my mom's that I gave her that I got back, and I'm going to put this up there too. So I'm probably going to try to put more of my cross stitch up here.
That'd be cute.
I sit here 10 hours a day, 4 days a week. It's kind of nice to see your stuff. So anyway, bought the frame at Hobby Lobby.
I like that frame. That's cute with it. It's the right color.
I know. I really like that. So I was pretty happy.
That's
Then I had also, gosh, back in February, I had planned on framing this little shepherd's bush. It's called Tender Heart.
Oh.
And it's, you know, it's little.
Frame. That's cute.
And it's a little loose right here. My sticky board, I don't know what happened to it. It wasn't sticky right there. So I'm going to cut another piece. But anyway, so that's going to come out. I might sit up here for the year and then come out at Thanksgiving. Come out at Valentine's Day with my Valentine's stuff. So that got framed, which I felt pretty darn good about. Because this also was stitched.
Yeah.
12 years ago. Maybe 13 years ago. And then I finished a couple things into some pillows. Oh, my nose itches, sorry. This was a pattern that was a freebie back in the day when my cross stitch store Stitch and Stuff was open. Sorry. I don't even know who the designer was. I remember buying the charms for it. The little bees.
Oh, I remember you. Well, did you recently just fully finish stitching it?
It's been finished for a long time. I talked about fully finishing it and I hadn't done it.
Cute.
So I went and got
cute trim.
I know it's chenille. It's not the fluffy chenille. So I watched Lindy Stitch's tutorial on how to attach it. You basically just stitch, wrap the thread around, stitch, and it's your threads are supposed to bury in there. Mine thread, you can see maybe right along here, but I don't think it matters that much.
No, it looks fine. It's cute.
So, and then I bought a little bee button.
Where did you get the trim?
I got the trim at Hobby Lobby. They got a ton of this, all different colors.
Cute. I'm gonna have to look for some.
And I have to say, I've talked about this before. I put fusible interfacing on the back of this piece, and it makes my pillows. I like them so much better.
Do you just do it on the stitched part or on the other?
I just do it on the stitched part. It gives it.
Anna Pfeiffer does it on both, but when I did my last pillow, I just did it on the stitching, and I didn't notice a particularly huge difference. But I should.
Well, if you don't, maybe you don't have a heavy enough interfacing. Mine's pretty heavy.
I probably have the lightest weight.
Yeah, but it just, I just like it, and I didn't stuff it too much. It's not really.
Yeah, it's just kind of fun.
Perfect. I love it. I really love it.
It's really cute.
And then I fully finished.
That'd be a cute Biscornu pattern.
Huh? It
That'd
would
be a cute Biscornu. You could do like a simple bottom.
Oh yeah.
Border or something. That'd be a really cute Biscornu.
And then I fully finished my Dreaming Girl.
You did? I haven't done that yet. Oh, onto a
I did the same thing. I just did the chenille. And this one my thread matched better.
Oh.
So you don't see it. And then I finished it off with the button, gray and
that's cute.
Button, but I really like it.
That's
took me a long time to get this baby done.
I need to fully finish mine.
I had kind of a yellowish trim that I thought about doing, but it was just too, since I went with a gray back, it just.
I like the gray.
With the gray hair, I thought it's nice to have the gray, but
I like the gray.
It
looks good too with the purple.
And I would have interfaced her, but I dyed this fabric, and I know I set it in the oven, but when I went to press it, it bled.
Oh.
I had a towel on my ironing board and I thought, well, okay, if I go put interfacing on it, I have to steam it. And I didn't want to, and I lost a little bit of color here. I thought I didn't want to risk that. So I didn't put interfacing on this one. And I think when I interface them, my stuffing job is better.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like this, I don't know. And plus it's bigger. I think sometimes the bigger ones are harder to stuff.
I think so.
But I'm so pleased with
Really
myself.
cute. Really good.
So pleased with myself on these ones.
Cute, cute.
I have to say, it felt good to get some things done
Yeah.
off my dining room table. So those are my finishes.
Yay. Fun. Good job. Those are really cute.
It felt pretty darn good. You know, I went a long time with no finished things.
Yeah. I kind of went on a kick a couple weeks ago, and now I've been doing a lot of school planning and trying to catch up on the garden since it's not quite as hot, and I haven't done any fully finishing.
I don't have a lot of newly finished things, but
yeah.
Oh,
That'll break.
the metal on my water bottle is coming apart. It's sharp.
Oh, ouch.
Get the water bottle.
Well, I can show what I worked on. I don't have a ton. So last week, remember I talked about my wrists have been bothering me, and I just talked a little bit about how the doctor's sending me for one of those torture tests. I'll be thinking about Wesley from The Princess Bride while I'm. Have you seen that? You've seen The Princess Bride, right? They put him in that machine, and then yeah, it's not really like a shock. I don't know what they're doing, sucking the life out of him. Yeah, they're sucking his life years away. But anyways, so I decided I was gonna at least stitch an hour though every night. And if I wear my splint or if I ice really good first. Yesterday I didn't
tell you not to do it.
No, he didn't.
I mean, the reality is if you've got carpal tunnel, the damage
it just kind of bothers. Like eventually it kind of feels numb and it bothers.
But it's not gonna do.
I did a ton of on my hands. You know, if I'm on my hands and knees in the garden, I was pulling. So during that hot spell last week, 2 weeks ago, the weeds just took over. It was just too hot day and night to go out and do any weeding. I just could not do it. And so yesterday I went out and I was trying to clear out some of the weeds, but I was on my hands and knees for a while. And so that really made it flare up.
Between that and the milking.
Yeah, but even that, I can, if I'm just doing the milking and the cross stitching, it's different. It was definitely like being on my.
No, I'm just saying between that and the milking.
Yeah, and then I did help milk last night. So we will, I think, eventually get a milking machine. We just don't have the money for it just yet. They're not that expensive. They're like $150 for a single cow type.
Oh,
type machine that just does 2 at a time. I think we're only milking out 2 for quarters now. By the way, for the cow, I think that the mastitis is getting cleared up. I had to do one of those little intramammary. I was joking. If you saw did you see my Instagram this week where I said, or maybe it was let's see, it was 4 days ago. So yeah, it was this week. If I'm ever playing that game, I never, and somebody says, I've never injected anything into a cow's udder, I would have to lose a finger. I've done that. It was easy to do, no big deal. And this morning was the first morning we technically could take the milk if it looked clean, and it tested clean. But I'm still being
milk in the morning?
We milk in the morning and the evening right now because that calf isn't drinking from both sides. We have been.
Oh, I didn't know that. Should he be drinking from both sides, or did he not because of the infection?
He's only drinking in the front. I don't know why. I don't know if it's from the infection or just those are his preferred and he gets enough out of those. So we just take all the milk from the back, but we milk usually in the morning and the evening, which is not what I really wanted to do. I really wanted to milk just in the morning or just one of those. So hopefully eventually we can get to that. But if we do get a machine, that will make things easier.
When he goes off the milk though, are you going to have to go back to milking twice a day? Or will her milk supply adjust?
Yeah, I'm not sure yet. We'll have to decide what we're going to do at that point.
Yeah.
So we are getting a lot of milk. So if anybody wants milk, come drink some at my house. It's good. It tastes like milk, but anyways, but I'm still stitching, and I've been like, if I stitch much more than an hour, I'm kind of trying to limit myself to about an hour an evening, which is not more like that's about all I do anyways. So I think I did 2 hours a couple times though, but I'm sort of mindlessly stopping as we watch something. Anyways, So I ended up putting my magazine monthly into my spinner. And so every night I've been spinning for what letter I'm going to work on. And this one is my focus piece. And so I also put this in there. This came up, I think, a couple times. So I worked on this a few nights, putting in those beads still, and I'm running out of beads. I'm going to have to find more, even though I bought the right amount. I'm only here.
I think I hear that a lot.
And I'm like, why would you not say for people to buy above and beyond what you need? So I'm going to
when I do a big, if I do a big beaded project, I'm going to get like twice the amount of beads.
Yeah, I should have. And I'm going to basically just buy 3 or 4 more. I think I'll need the same color when I do my stocking anyways. So
yeah.
So I'm about halfway done probably with the beading. Do you think? Maybe more?
At least halfway.
I'm to here. That tree that's only halfway done is where I'm at right now.
Hey, Carrie, you should see the stocking she's cross stitched. Oh, look at Santa brought me.
Santa is not here.
Santa brought
Your
me.
husband is here.
Look at the stocking I'm doing. These red are all beads.
They're all beads on the trees.
Those are really cool, Sarah. Who's that for?
Jessie.
Oh,
And she's
okay.
got
Those
another
for
one.
Jessie, and I have a coordinating one for me, which looks really similar, but it's, you know,
More
it's
in rows. I was thinking
trees are in rows.
Oh, that's really sweet. Yes.
I love it. I don't know what it is.
I love it too. Gotta make yourself something to do.
Well, yeah, I'd make myself a stocking too, but yeah, it's gorgeous.
So I worked on that for
Santa's not really into stockings at my house.
because he knows you're not going to use them. You're just going to hand each other a gift bag. He'd probably be into it if you limited yourself.
The problem with stockings at my house is I buy too much stuff for the stocking to fit in the stocking. And that irritates him because
Gosh.
money, 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 money.
Oh, well,
Oh, he's come around. Heck,
what about
you
it?
should see what he buys for my stocking.
I know, it's not like he doesn't do the same thing anymore.
I know. He buys me like kitchen appliances, kitchen utensils that are big. And anyway, look at, I got another Starbucks.
Yummy. I still haven't had one of those yet. I didn't go to Starbucks this week. R was drawn for Riolus sunflower.
Huh?
I am very close to finishing this one on the end there. So you probably can't even tell that I've made any progress, but I did make progress.
I don't know
This
where
was not very filled in last week. This
Yeah.
one corner, and then I did some green up here this week.
Yeah.
So I really just
should
have
be
this
almost
little
done.
section.
Yeah.
And
So
then
back
there's
stitching?
some of this background gray that I'll fill in there.
Is there back stitching at all?
No,
No?
only on the little butterfly, I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, that little butterfly. Cute.
That's the only thing that I see that has back stitching on it, which is nice. It'll just be all, it's kind of got that kind of green, like blended color look.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
And I think that all the all the large amounts of color changes give it that defined look. even with
Yeah.
back stitching.
Well, yeah, it's like that max shelf hate I'm starting.
Exactly. You don't really need back stitching when you have.
No, it's so shaded.
So S for Snapperland got called, and I worked on this 2 hours. Not that you can really tell. I mean, maybe you can if you knew where I was. Oh, did I lose my needle?
Tell us where you were.
Hang on. I think I just dropped my needle. I heard it. I thought I hit the. Well, okay. I'm working on that
No.
board, and I was about here.
Yeah,
So I did all that border.
that's a lot in 2 hours.
Yeah, I worked fast. I mean, I worked hard on it. Kind of
Mhm.
fast. Love it. Love it. I do like that. That's a bit.
Cute.
Okay, now I just want to eyeball because I thought I heard my needle drop onto my keeper here in front of me for my planner, but I'm not seeing it.
I
Where's
was
those?
able last week too.
Yeah, I found that one right away. Oh, I found it. It was on my planner. There you go. Dropped some floss too. There it is. Nope, just caught up in the fabric. Just fold it into the fabric here. The only other thing I worked on. So even though I stitched every day, a few things were called.
Did you stick your needle into the fabric or just wrapped it up in there?
I stuck my needle into the fabric.
Oh, okay.
There was no thread attached to it. The threads
Oh,
were just loose.
I thought you said I'm just gonna wrap my needle up in here, and I'm like, well, no wonder you're dropping your needles.
No, my thread is just tucked in.
Wrap it up.
Last thing I worked on, this was called, is my Shores of Hakron Hollow, and I'm on
It's a big one. It's a big one.
it's a big one. And I started on the ground. I finished, no, oh yeah, I finished all that. Come on, let me fold this better. Here we go. I did all that green there.
Wow, that's a
and the
lot.
brown. So there's another darker brown, and then it starts with the water and the mermaid and all the things. So I've,
That water area is a lot narrower.
yeah, actually, once I got that grass and stuff stitched, I was like, oh, there's not that much. I mean, that's not a huge amount of stitching, actually.
Oh.
I mean, it's not tiny, but. So I have a fountain here, and then the
Mermaid and the
mermaid and the fish and the anchor, and then the water to fill in.
Okay.
Not bad. I think I'll get it done.
Yeah.
Someday.
I can't wait for you to hold that up again. Can't wait for you to do that big black house.
This is the one that's going to be kind of a nightmare. Look at all
I was gonna say, and then there's that one.
Look at that. That is like random globs of color. What I might do is the black outline first, or the dark brown or whatever color, and then go fill in each one.
Fill
kind
it
of
all.
like, you know, when you do that doodle thing and then you go color in the different shapes you've made. That's what I'm gonna do. It's
called
the rocks. on
stitching
that.
doodle.
It's my stitching doodle. I'm just gonna follow the lines, and if I make a mistake, oh well, it doesn't matter. It's gonna be filled in. So that's all the things I worked on this week. Not a like huge variety, but I felt good, and I got progress done on my stocking.
Yeah,
Whip goal is done, and I got an hour done on my Riola sunflower goal too. So
that's good.
I only have an hour left for my whip go because I just make myself a goal of 4 hours.
I haven't started my 8 hours of whip go on my ferry yet.
Oh,
So I worked, I just had a new start. It was one that I talked about that Gail from Gail's Golden Needle had done. It was a Be Well and Stitch from Stitching Book Club on Instagram. She also has a website. She did, I didn't print it. I was going to print it and I forgot to. It is, what am I doing? She did it. It's that blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these broken wings and learn to fly.
yeah.
So, sorry. So this is what it would look like. Well, you can't see all the lettering, but there's a big bird there.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, it's block letters for the first word, blackbird.
Oh, cute.
So I did the border. This border.
You're
goes-
doing this on Gothic, right? Is this the one?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a 28 count.
I like
And
it.
holes are hard to see.
Have you tried putting a light under it? You probably need them.
Oh, but I found that if I held it a certain way with my light on top of it, I could see it. It just was a
Or
little.
if you put a white paper underneath, maybe on your lap. I don't know.
I could. I've done that in the past, but the holes are so tight. Part of it's just so dense. I think when they dye it, the holes close up.
Shrink up a
And then this border is on the top and the bottom.
little.
And then there's just, I don't think, then there's just a running one stitch, one
Mhm.
X all the way down the sides.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, I really love that. And I'm using Anchor.
Yeah, that looks nice. You have a nice
Um,
coverage on it, I feel like.
Yeah, I do. I'm really happy with it. And that was like one night of stitching. So it
That's a
went
lot.
really fast. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you, Gail, for enabling me on that.
Mhm.
And then I kind of did some, I think I worked on I need to look real quick. I did work on,
Mhm.
oh, you can't even see it. This fabric is just so light. I did work, there's some pale
Just walk by next time.
pink. You can't even see them inside. Well, you can a little bit. Rows of diagonal rows of pink
Yeah,
in
I
here.
see it.
It didn't do a ton. And then I realized I missed 2 motifs on the page right here that I got to go back and do
Yeah,
before I move back over. So
coming
still
along
have-
nicely though.
yeah, I still have another, I got some more time to work on her. She was part of my magazine monthly. I think I did an hour. I need to do 2 more hours for her. I started my, this is really not impressive, but I did it, so I'm going to show it. I outlined the border of my calendar piece for August. Whoop, whoop.
Good. Good.
I had every intention of starting the motifs inside last night, but Finish-A-Rama happened and I didn't have any time.
Finish a rammer.
Then my B for bird is button up.
Yay, I saw a hint of this on Instagram.
I finished that block. I have 1 block left. I did all
One
the
more.
snow. I had to rip the dog out.
Oh, poor
He was
dog.
1 row too low,
Oh,
and his feet would have been sunk in the snow.
yeah, right up into
I
the.
couldn't, I didn't like the idea of fudging that. So I did all that snow and I did, it's not really focusing, but I did the outlining of the trees and that little
Yeah.
branch.
What does the last square look like? I can't remember.
Oh, it's a doozy. It is, my poor pattern is ripped in half.
Gosh.
It is this one.
Oh,
That brown is full coverage. It's the whole thing is filled in. The
even the
sky.
back. The sky is too?
Yep, that's a brown. It's
Oh,
the
wow.
same as this square. There's one. This square has brown.
Oh, wow.
Um,
That is a doozy.
and this square.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, so it's, yeah,
So
it is so cute. I really wanted to finish it.
to this week.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'd say finishing
Pretty
that
much.
square is quite an accomplishment.
It was, and I haven't worked on this for quite a while, so it felt good. And I doubled my goal. I was supposed to do 3 hours. I did 6 hours. And
Wow.
part of that was because I had to rip that darn dog out.
Yeah. So you worked on Button Up and I worked on my Snapperland this week.
I know, these are
I
oldie
feel
but
like they're
goodies
kind of
coming
like
back.
parallel pieces.
I know.
Maybe we'll both finish the same week. Wouldn't that be fun?
That'd be something.
Maybe we need a goal.
Goal.
Finish a palooza.
Finish Palooza. The last thing I
That's-
worked on.
Yours is a prairie, that's a prairie schooler, right? Mine's a Main Creek.
This thing I worked on, I have not worked on this since I started it, and I can't remember when I even started it, and it's not on my plans at all. I haven't shown this project forever. I don't know what made me think about working on it. It's totally, I just thought, I want to work on this.
I have no idea what it is. Oh, it's because it's August and this is the right time of year to work on that.
I did all of that
I love it.
and all of that.
Mine is sitting on my piano and I always look at it and feel happy. I love that. I need
They-
their companion seasonal pieces.
Actually, I haven't done this one yet. This is on, I made a working copy of this so we could pass the stash, and it's big. And so my page ended like right here.
What is that back? Like, what is that thing on the back? Is it like you could just stitch this kind of a thing?
Yeah, I think it's just a,
Just
fill in the-
decorative?
I think it was just a decoration.
Oh,
She said, to give a personal touch to my embroidery, I replaced orange by one variegated thread. I chose sunset. Did you use a variegated?
no, I used,
It only has like 6 colors in this whole
I
thing.
used all the called for, I think. Are they all DMC?
Yeah.
I
But
just
you
used the
can't
called for
use-
DMC and I didn't regret it at all.
It's so cute.
Yeah, I love mine.
I don't know. Yeah, I was going through, when I was going through my whips, I think originally to pull out things, I pulled out some fall stitching to have it more handy coming up here in the next month or so. And then what I wanted to do for Magazine Monthly, and this this was in one of the baskets, and I thought, oh, I forgot about that one. And then sometime during the week, I thought, oh, I really want to work on that. So I worked on this a little bit while I was working.
Well, you had a really slow week, so you were technically working.
I was working, but I had a slow week. And so I was here, I was answering emails and doing faxes, and I did some, you know, but I stitched a little bit at my desk, which I haven't done.
Yeah.
I did it during 2020 once in a while, and I knit a little. No, I didn't knit at all during the lockdown. I didn't knit at all. I just cross stitched, and it was super slow because we were like barely hanging on there.
Yeah. Crazy.
But I would sit in that chair, and I would take breaks and cross stitch, and I'd run over here and wiggle my mouse around and check the fax queue. And yeah, it's amazing what we lived through, isn't it?
Yeah.
So anyway, that was really fun, and I really don't want to put it away because I think I'm going to keep it here
Yeah.
and just take a few little breaks here and there.
Yeah. Should.
So that is all I worked on.
Wow. Fun.
Yeah,
You
and I have to work.
Hmm?
I still have to work on my Barbara Anna Four Seasons Girls.
Yes.
I think I have one more hour to do on my Thankful Heart trees. And I haven't started Dahlia Ridge by Heart and Home, which I want to do. There's so many things I want to stitch on. It's just,
Excuse me. Sorry.
sometimes I look at them and I think, oh, I don't want to stitch on any of these things. And other times it's like, I want to stitch on all of them at one time.
Yeah, I kind of go through parts like that, and I'm like, maybe I just need to start something new. That's probably why I don't want to stitch anything. I just need something new.
Yeah, you know,
I'm not sure what I'm going to work on this week. It's just going to depend on what gets called. But I still have my Snow Queen hasn't been called.
Yeah.
I wanted to start that Music Amongst the Trees from Rosewood Manor, and that hasn't been called. My Hade hasn't been called. Turkey Day, and my Stitching by the Sea, Little Pillow, and Alpaca Farm.
So
And
when
I
you meet
still-
when you meet your goal on one of those, do you take it off your wheel so it doesn't keep? Yeah.
Yeah. So I still have a few more hours on all the things I've already
This
stitched.
is what I have to focus on this week. I need to start getting my whip girl goals in, especially because
Are they not on your board?
I didn't do a wheel.
You didn't do a magazine monthly?
Yeah, but
Okay.
she's my whip girl, and I didn't.
You
get
didn't
her.
overlap it this week? This
I
month?
did not, and I don't know why I didn't.
Usually you do, so that you make
Yeah,
sure
I
you-
usually do, but maybe I just had other things I was able easily to fit in there.
Yeah, maybe.
But I start my Hade next Friday.
I'm
with
sorry I didn't
everybody.
upload that video. I'll try to do that today. I
Okay,
see
it's
that.
up on Carolyn's, and it's
Yeah.
fun.
Well, I'll put it.
Yeah, but anyway, so, and I want to really be able to work on that for several days next week and to kind of get a good start. So I want to have some of these other goals met by then.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I need to start knitting because I need to knit for a little boy.
I know I need to knit a little bit too.
And I actually have that as part of my, so this, we talked about this. I said I was going to make this Milo vest.
Yeah. Oh,
And you can choose different kind of cables.
yes.
Can't
That's
see
a
it very
cute and
well.
easy pattern.
Or no cable. And this was actually the baby weight one. It actually goes up to 1 year. But what I realized was the regular Milo pattern that I talked about last week, I couldn't use because it uses DK heavier weight than what I have, because I have a fingering weight. And so she had come out, thankfully, I remembered a fingering weight version of this. So I got my yarn all wound and part of my haul just interspersed. I got another set of needles that I needed. And I'm gonna start this little puppy.
I'm gonna see if I can get my legs joined on that one I'm working on. I'm kind of thinking about, Kelly doesn't watch us, right? I think I might make one of those for her if I end up liking the pattern, the little overall.
Yeah, so
cover.
cute.
So cute. And I could do it in a variegated yarn, or I could get a couple stripy ones from Hobby Lobby again. But I need to finish the one I'm working on. It's kind of my trial run now for my nephew.
Well, if you don't like that pattern so much, there's got to be other.
I like the pattern. I'm just not in Knitting Mojo. The pattern's been fine.
I thought you were having a hard time
the
with the
legs
pattern.
feel a little short to me, and that was all really.
Okay.
I'm just lengthening the legs because the legs didn't feel quite long enough to me when I finished stitching them. And I was looking at them like, these seem too short, but they might not be.
Short romper.
No, it's supposed to be a full length
Oh,
leg one.
okay.
Anyway, but I'm lengthening the legs, which I've already done on one of the legs. So I just need to lengthen the other leg, pick it back up onto my needles and put a few more, I don't know, like 10 more rows in, and then I think I'm ready to join the legs. Then it's pretty straightforward round knitting up to the, I think the rest should be easy. Yeah. So if I like, I want to make some good progress on that actually this week, so I can give it to the gal that's baby is almost a year old now. I told her, I just want you to know I'm still working on that. I'm just being really slow. She's like,
So she knows there's something coming.
she's like, no worries at all. I was like, I know, but I really want to get it done.
First mistake, never tell them, because then if you don't finish it, they don't.
I know. Anyways, so that's one of my goals this week, is to really kind of get some knitting done. I don't have.
Well, maybe that'll be a different kind of motion. Maybe it'll give your.
Yeah, maybe. Although I think knitting, yeah, maybe. I think any way I go about it, my fingers are going to be kind of numb, and I probably just like deal with it until I don't.
Yeah.
Till I get a solution here.
Yeah.
So annoying.
It is
Too
annoying.
young to have these problems. No, I'm not.
Yeah. Well, you kind of are. I feel
Feels
like.
like it. Yeah. I don't know.
And I don't.
Not even 40 yet. You have carpal tunnel.
Yeah. It's not like you're in a job where you're doing repetitive motion either. It's not like you cross stitch 20 hours a day.
I know. There's a lot of people who cross it way more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
But this has flared up way before I started milking.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not because of milking the cow.
Yeah.
This has been a problem from other years. I don't know.
Maybe has exacerbated it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure it has ramped it up, but I don't know.
Yeah, you've complained about that for a while with me though.
Yeah, well, remember when I was knitting those hoods? I couldn't knit in the morning. I still can't really knit or do much in the morning, and I haven't.
I cannot knit in the morning.
Your fingers fall asleep then too? Yeah.
I can't cross stitch. I can
can't.
cross stitch, but I have to take more breaks.
Yeah,
I can start off and all of a sudden my hands are tingling if I do it first thing in the morning.
yeah, and that's sad to me because a lot of people do a lot of that in the morning, and I can't. So
No.
maybe if I find a solution, either PT or if I end up having to have surgery, maybe that'll solve some of these problems for me.
Yeah. Probably will. Probably will. Do you have any haul?
I have no haul. We don't have any money right now.
I have one. Well, I have a couple hauls. One doesn't really. This is just kind of for Carolyn Zook's benefit. Look, Carolyn, I got my vacuum seal bags for my yarn in my yarn hidey hole over there. So I ordered these. They came right really quick. They're big. So, of course, did I do anything with them? No, not yet.
That'll be so nice though.
It will be nice. I need to get in there and do that. But my cotton and twine historical sampler box came. Boxes.
How fun.
This is really funny. Okay, so I love that they send the finishing stuff with it. I didn't realize that was going to happen every month. So it comes with this really cute jute bag, really strong jute.
Okay.
And the pattern is this, you stitch it and then stitch on it. It's this crab, and on the back, you do a second pattern says, oh, I do like to be beside the seaside. So that's one side of it.
Oh my gosh.
And that's the other side of it.
Oh my
And you
gosh,
should see these flosses.
Cute.
These flosses are like, what?
Wow. Cute.
Aren't they? I know. I
It
love
come with
it.
the fabric too to do.
Yeah, it comes with the fabric. It comes with a needle.
Oh,
It comes with everything you need. And then it came with this pattern in the bag. And
that's a good, like sometimes, you know, when people subscribe to those, I've never done that before, but when they do, there's like a bunch of like random stuff in there that's kind of hit or miss whether you're going to like it or not.
yeah.
This is great that it's all like connected.
And there's always a stack. So I got popcorn shed bread, salted caramel popcorn. They always have little candy. This one they did have a little knickknack in it.
Cute. I mean, it's fine to throw those in, but it's so great that they send all the finishing stuff.
No, isn't that cute though?
Oh, that's cute. And it goes with the whole.
It does.
That's really timer again.
So anyway, that was really fun. This is a subscription that I really do like. And the last one I got, had a really cute little tiny little tote bag that was recycled, like made out of recycling stuff, but it's really bright and colorful. It came with a standard frame, just a blonde kind of frame that I told Sarah I was going to give to her because I don't think I would use that color frame, but the girls might want it someday or something.
Yeah.
This is always a treat when it comes, and I don't look to see what's coming.
Mhm.
I don't know what it's going to be.
Surprise.
So that was kind of fun. And then we got some happy mail. We got sweet mail from Sharon Mann.
Sorry, we've been saying your name wrong, Sharon. Also, I haven't gotten out your gift card. It's coming, though. I have not forgotten.
Never forgotten. So she sent us some patterns that she has stitched or she's found at thrift stores. And I'm like, I never find any patterns at my thrift store. So you are ahead of the game. But she sent us this really cute, and I know Sarah's going to want to stitch this, brunch at Buttonwood Farms.
Yes, I do really want to stitch that. I love it.
So cute. And then there's a couple of little house needlework. So
Cute.
it's a little girl on pulling a sled. The other little one is so little you won't be able to see it, but it's part of it's called Lavender Hill. I'm not sure if it's part of one of their series or not, but it says purple flowers cover the meadow until the summer is over on Lavender Hill, and it's just lavenders and little sheep.
Yeah, it's cute. We can see it. It's good.
Did you? And then there's this really cute Ursula Michael designs. I'd rather be by the sea.
Mhm. Cute.
And some 14 count easy grid Ada.
Yeah, wow.
Sarah didn't really get to see this very well. I was trying to show it to her on the phone. And then there's a kit called Four Seasons Angels.
Cute.
Sunflowers. There's this is a tag board version, not the flimsy ones that they're printing now, Curtis Fuller of the ancient Santas or old world Santas.
Really cute.
Yeah. And then, this Ursula Michaels, it says, those who wish to sing always find a song. It's super cute. And then the one that really spoke to me is this one. It was a Blackboard Designs, What Remains is Love. And it was done for the 20th anniversary of Traditional Stitches, which I think is a store up in Canada. But I read this to Sarah, but what really got me was what she wrote when she was designing this for them. She goes, my mind often wanders as I stitch. I think about the mundane things like recent phone calls, my family, my to-do list, and what to fix for lunch. And I can't help but think about the piece I'm stitching and what story I wanted to tell. My grandkids have been on my mind so much lately. While I was stitching, I discovered the story the sampler began to tell me. While I was stitching, I discovered the story this sampler began to tell me, a story left for my grandkids long after I'm gone. It's simply this. I love them so much, hence the stitched words, what remains is love. Those words also remind me of Janice, the owner of Traditional Stitches in Calgary, Canada. That's right, it is Canada. I think of the 20 years she spent sharing her love of stitching with her customers and friends. Surely her love of needlework will be her legacy. And I think this was 2021. And it calls for a mixture. It calls for Gentle Arts Weeks, Classic Artworks with DMC conversion, but I definitely want to stitch this. And I'm wondering if you stitched it too, Sharon. That's one that you had done.
Yeah, leave us a comment if you stitched it.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much. This was a sweet package. I checked the mail and I was like, what is this in my mailbox?
What a treat.
I didn't order anything.
Fun.
So that was, yeah. So we'll definitely give some of those away, which is kind of nice to have a little stash of giveaways.
Yeah. It's fun.
Your note was super sweet. So that I think is about all. I did get a yarn. I ordered some yarn.
You did.
This gal used to be she's a yarn dyer, local, kind of local to me. And she used to have her yarn at a yarn store that I used to go to all the time over in Gig Harbor, Washington, called Rainy Day Yarns. And she just had her own little yarn dyeing and Sherry carried it in her store, and her colors are just always really vibrant and beautiful. And she started her yarn dyeing with her daughters, her teenage / grown-up daughters. And I used to always buy it when I went into her shop. She had been a nurse and had to quit nursing because she was losing her hearing. So she was mostly deaf. I mean, you wouldn't know it because her speech was still really good, and she could still hear enough, I think, and read lips. But she really needed more income than just having her yarn in somebody else's store. So she opened up a storefront up the road in another little town in, like, I want to say September, October, November of 2019. And her shop didn't make it through COVID, because then by February. So she's back to just doing an Etsy shop, and her name is Buxom Cat Knits. And I love her logo. And she used to be Hula Girl Knits, but she got flack for using that name, so she had to change it. But she said, I'm not changing my logo.
Cute.
And she's, anyway, isn't that fun? She has a Halloween, this is called her Monster Mash set. So you get, for your socks, that color, and then if you want to do your heels and toes out of that color.
Fun.
Isn't that fun? She always does kind of some themes. And I kind of felt like supporting her. And then she sent along this set of mini skeins, just an extra set.
Ooh, pretty.
And I don't know what names these are. Oh, the green one is called Frankie. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's a stitch marker tucked in there.
Oh.
Candy corn.
Oh, cute.
Frankie. So this set is called Frankie, I think after Frankenstein. Anyway, that was another treat.
Yeah.
And plus she's so close to me that when she ships, it gets to me really fast. But
Yeah,
she's a dyer that I like to support, because I know that her stuff is quality. And yeah, so that's my haul. Oh, that's it.
We have been talking about a Zoom meetup.
Oh, yeah.
And we've decided that we could do it on August 20th, which is Saturday. Not this coming Saturday. Oh, I don't have the calendar behind me. Changed to August.
2 weeks. 2 weeks from
Yeah, so
yesterday.
next week will be the 13th, or the 13th, but then the next week after that is the 20th. And that's the day we're going to have a Zoom meetup at noon Pacific time. So standard what we've done that a few times now. So if you're interested in joining, shoot me an email at stitchandstuffxs@gmail.com. It's in the description box below for the video, and I'll make sure you get the Zoom invite to come. If it's Thursday before the 18th and you haven't gotten an invite, don't feel bad shooting me an email reminder, just to make sure that your email didn't go to spam or something, but I'll try to be really careful. It's only happened once, I think.
Yeah.
Most of the time I get everybody. So
yeah,
go ahead and email if you're interested in getting an invite to the Stitching Zoom meetup. If you've never done it before, believe me, we're very low key. We just chat and show and tell whatever we're working on if you want to, and just talk all things cross stitch and weather and whatever we would do if we were sitting in a coffee shop together.
yeah.
So we would love to see you, and be brave if you haven't done it. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, I hope you can join, Heather, because you're going to show me a tip on how to. Heather commented on our video from last week because I complained about not being able to thread my Krennic.
Oh yeah.
And she said, oh, I've got a tip, but it's too complicated to explain. I'll have to show you over Zoom. So hopefully she'll get to join and she can show me her trick.
So
my
that
trick was to get a needle the size of a knitting needle.
Shove it down in there.
Yeah, that was my trick.
Oh, what a good trick. That seems like it worked really well.
Yeah, yeah.
We had a giveaway from last week.
We did. It was the tart pan, the cute little.
And the word that we had you use was tart, and Sandy D wins the tart pan. So congratulations. Mom was like, oh, I just packaged up some stuff for her. I said, I'll just stick it all in another envelope.
I have like five packages down here on the floor, all ready to go to the post office tomorrow. So I'll just get a bigger one, and I don't want to unwrap the one that I already did.
2 packages.
But she's been waiting a while for the one that I have for her, so
Well,
I'm a little backed up.
We'll get you. We'll get you that. And then we have a new one this week.
We do, but it's a little different.
It's a little different.
I did not go to my cross stitch store. This week, but I did go to the store and I found this new episode. New episode of this cross stitch. It's got a few cute little preview Christmas ornaments from the Ornament magazine that's coming out in here. So I thought I would give this away. And then my brand new Hobby Lobby opened, which is about 10 minutes if you hit the lights right from my house versus the 40-minute drive I do when I go to my cross stitch store. And so I went in there. Guys, it is so big. It is so big and it's laid out differently.
Is it bigger than mine? Have you been in mine? You've been in mine. Is it bigger than mine?
I'd have to go back in yours again. I think maybe, I mean, I felt like the one I go to in Issaquah was big.
Yeah,
But
I
this one
don't know if I've ever been in another Hobby Lobby besides mine.
This one apparently has a bigger party section and bridal section. Their fall stuff was in a couple different places, so that felt disorienting to me, but they've only been open a few weeks and they're still unloading stuff. But it's laid out totally different. And I thought, okay, where's the fabric? Where's the yarn? Where's the cross stitch? So I went straight forward all the way to the very back of the store and kind of off to the side. And I'm looking and I'm finding what I want. And I thought, I don't know my way back to the cashier. You can't see. I mean, I'm like, which direction did I come? And then I went down some aisles and I saw the exit signs. But I mean, I walked a long ways to get to the cashier. Yes.
Okay, it must be bigger than mine because mine doesn't.
You'll have to come over and we'll go to it. You can tell me if yeah. Anyway, so in honor of my new Hobby Lobby, I bought some fabric to give away. It's the Murano that I think Sarah did her poppy.
Yeah, what does it say the colorway is? What is it called?
Mustard, 32 count.
I think that's the one I used for my my poppy Biscornu, the Planter's Field.
You might want to just put a little piece of fabric in their stash. So I bought that for you guys and this. So we're calling this bundle. The word to use is bundle.
You want the magazine and the fabric, use the word bundle.
We're going out together. Yeah, so that is the giveaway for this week.
Yeah, fun. What are you reading?
Well, I started that short story. I was reading that one with the girls that lived in the projects. I didn't pick that up at all this week. I just didn't feel like I was in the mood for that. And so, hold on a second. I had gotten a short story from Amazon Prime Kindle called, oh, this is so funny. You've read 22 weeks in a row. Keep it up. But now it's only 2 days in a row.
You broke your streak. You must have missed
Signal Moon. It's the one where there's a.
I linked it in our GoodReads.
Yeah,
so
wiretap.
Want to find it? You can go to
wiretap listener for Britain during the war.
Time travel kind of.
Time travel. She all of a sudden, and it's quick. I mean, the story moves along because it's a short story, which I kind of like. And I got, after a couple of nights, a very short reading time. She's now just received that transmission from current day guy on a ship. So anyway, but I also downloaded because I really don't. I don't have any Maeve Binchie's on my Kindle. I own them all in hardback, but they're all packed away. I downloaded Maeve Binchie's Firefly Summer. And this one, L.M.
I was
Montgomery.
thinking about Firefly Lane. I was like, she didn't write that, but
have you ever read The Blue Castle by Lucy Maud Montgomery?
No.
This was not very expensive. It's a 1926 novel by Canadian author Lucy Maud Montgomery, best known for her novel of Green Gables. The story takes place prior to World War I in the fictional town of Deerwood, located in the Muskoka region of Ontario, Canada. Deerwood is based on Bala, Ontario, which Montgomery visited in 1922. Maps of the two towns show similarities. Valencia Sterling is 29 and has never been in love. She spent her entire life on a quiet little street in an ugly little house and never dared to contradict her domineering mother and her unforgiving aunt. But one day she receives a shocking, life-altering letter and decides then and there that everything needs to change. For the first time in her life, she does exactly what she wants to and says exactly what she feels. At first, her family thinks she's gone around the bend, but soon Valancy discovers more surprises and adventure than she ever thought possible. She also finds her one true love in the real-life version of the Blue Castle that she was sure only existed in her dreams. I'd never heard of that one by her.
Yeah, me either. She has got several that I don't know that I've never read, but I'd like to read more of her things.
Yeah, yep. So that might be next up.
Fun.
Yeah, what are you reading?
I made some progress on Misery. The book is so crazy.
What's happened recently?
Well, I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but nothing.
Well, we all know he's confined to a bed.
Yeah, he's still in her house, in Annie's house. And it's so interesting. Stephen King does this. I feel like he did this in 11/22/63. He did this. I haven't read The Shining, but I feel like there's elements of this in The Shining too, where at least in the movie, like inanimate objects kind of have a little bit of a life, at least on an imaginary level for the character. So right now there's a lot of like back and forth verbal sparring with himself and the typewriter about having to write he's trying to figure out how to make Misery come back alive again. Because remember,
that's right, because she's sad that he killed her off.
And so she wants him to write another book but he can't figure out how to like undo, and he can't cheat because she's too picky. Like he can't just be like, oh, surprise, actually she wasn't dead. Like,
yeah.
He wants him to be faithful to the writing. Anyway, but he's trying to figure out how to do that.
Can't you just picture Kathy Bates playing that part when you're reading it too?
Yeah, I do. I picture her as I'm reading it. I'm just
like
oh, she is just terrible.
It's terrible.
There was this very long scene where she leaves because she's mad at him, and he gets into the wheelchair himself, she leaves him in the wheelchair with no meds, and he wheels out into the bathroom, and he's grabbing the meds and trying to shove them, so because he's addicted now to this this not Valium,
whatever she's got.
Yeah, it's a made up drug, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a Valium kind of thing. So
it is, I think
that whole scene was very tense because he didn't want her to know. He needed to get back into the room, but there was this whole sequence where like the doorknob wouldn't open, and he's in excruciating pain trying to wheel through, and then the wheelchair is too wide to go through the door, so he has to kind of jar it through, but he's in excruciating pain, like
I think I remember that
blacking out and then coming back awake and trying again.
I have to say that movie, that show, that movie was, it's just kind of comical in a dark twist kind of way.
Yeah, it does. It has this like kind of dark, it's not really a dark comedy, but there's elements of it that are kind of like almost funny.
Yeah.
I've been reading that, and then I've been listening still to The Personal Recollections of Joan of Arc by Twain with the Craft Lit podcast. And then Jesse, we have a subscription to Libro, which is like Audible, but it supports independent booksellers and stores. And so we basically can buy through our local, we buy on Libro, but it's sort of through our local bookstore. He got the new Emily St. John Mandel book. So remember, I read The Glass House, and then she wrote the other one I love.
Cuckoo Land?
No, that's Anthony Doerr. Oh gosh.
Oh, the one where it's like
the apocalyptic. No. She wrote, why won't it show me anything? Oh, it's probably just showing me.
What?
There's a pandemic. They made a show of it. What's it called? Station 11. Same author as Station 11. Then she wrote The Glass House, which ended up having ties to being in the same world as Station 11, but it was like a prequel. Her new book is called The Sea of Tranquility. And Jesse and I started listening to it when we're out milking together. We just bring out the speaker and we put it on, and we just started it yesterday. And we're both like just totally into this book. It's called The Sea of Tranquility. And it starts off, the first section is about a guy in 1912 who is kind of like the son of landed gentry, think Downton Abbey, but he's one of the younger sons. And he basically gets banished to Canada for all the, and he's almost like a PG Woodhouse goofy character. Like he's kind of just aimless, and there's actually quite a bit of humor in his section, but then it jumps forward in time, which I didn't expect to happen. So I'm not really sure where it's going to go, but I never know where it's going to go with her books. I think she's such an interesting writer.
Station 11 was a weird.
Oh, so well, the movie, I didn't finish the show. I feel like the book is better than the show. So if you watch the show, I'm not sure it's a super.
The show was riveting. It was just so.
Her writing has this like poetic quality to it that's sort of
bounced around. I mean, I like time bouncing, but this one was just. I felt like there were some storylines that. There were some characters there wasn't very good closure on, or left things hanging that I felt like you weren't sure. We weren't sure if what you were led to believe happened to this person actually is what happened or not, because you're getting it from two different people who are not in healthy places,
Oh, interesting. I don't remember feeling like that about the book.
The brother of the main character that was in the apartment.
Yeah.
His character was weird in the movie. Like they were never very.
I didn't really like how they did some of that in the movie. I thought that the book that stuff wasn't very true to the book.
His whole storyline, I think there probably was a little bit of closure at the very end, but I kept all the time I was thinking, what happened to the brother? Why did they leave? What happened to the brother?
You should read the book. I think it would be a different experience. Well, I mean, you don't have to read it, but I think it would be really different. We didn't really finish the show. I keep meaning to go back and watch it, and I just keep forgetting. But I do remember thinking, I don't remember it being that way in the book. And it's not like I'm a stickler for everything has to be. I know they have to adapt stuff, but I kind of felt like there were things that they changed that were kind of important. So, I hadn't read the book really recently, so I can't remember what those things really were, but I just remember thinking.
And you don't really hear what really happened to her parents. I mean, you're just led to believe her parents died in the pandemic.
And that's, I think, true to the book. Like, I don't know, like that was like it increased the feeling of this chaos, but.
Yeah, you just never know though, or that there was a brother, or I don't know. It was just weird. It was weird to me that they would let this girl go be in this play and not be there to pick her up, and to have some random lady that's the production person bring her home every night. I'm like, where are you parents? Why are you not involved in your child's life?
Yeah, and I feel like some of that was also a little bit more vague in the movie, but there was more.
There was more to it.
There was more going on, and some of that was like related through some of that poetic, symbolic stuff that I'm not sure translated super well into the show.
I didn't like that part.
So if you watched the show and you're not sure you really cared for it, I really recommend the book. It's one of my favorite books, like ever. That one and The Snow Child by Eowyn Ivey. Like those are books that I just think of when I think of a book that I would go back and reread in a heartbeat. Those are two that I just like. They just impacted me because of the beauty of the writing. I think.
Yeah. The other storyline that really was hard in that book was the assistant that ends up over in. Where does she go?
I want to say her name starts with an M, but I'm not sure that that's right.
Anyway, I just felt like there was a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but I just felt like it was a little disjointed, maybe the way they did the show.
I felt like it was kind of disjointed, and the book has that element of like.
Yeah, like you got this character and then this character, and I don't always mind that, but for some reason the way they did it in the show was just jarring to me. It's like, well, wait a minute, what's happening over here?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's worth watching or reading.
Oh, it was Cloud Cuckoo Land. Yeah. I was thinking about another book that feels like, how are these connected? And then it kind of locks into place. I feel like that about Emily St. John.
Actually, now that I think about it, the last 2 episodes of that series, I think finally did wrap some stuff up. Now that I think more about it, I felt like, okay.
Yeah, and that's probably, we didn't get that far into the show, but I feel like I kind of needed to.
Now that I think more about it. Anyway, yeah.
So we've been listening to that and
Uh-huh.
like kind of hooked in really fast. As soon as it ties in to the other books she wrote as well in ways that I don't really understand how they're going to click in.
Okay.
But I think it's going to answer some questions that were brought up during the glass house. Some loose ends left there, kind of like, well, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I kind of think now after the first few chapters of this book, I'm like, oh, I think we're going to hear more about that.
Okay.
Like now, she must have had a plan to go further into that specific thing. So that's one of the other things I'm reading. So that's I'm doing some school reading too, kind of trying to read ahead of some of Lydia's books, but those are the basic things I'm reading for fun.
We watched a really interesting movie the other night. I think it was made in 2021 called The Mincemeat Project. Got Colin Firth in it. It's got a bunch of famous people. It has Draco Malfoy's dad is in it.
Oh, Jason Isaac. Oh,
Yeah.
I love him.
We were like halfway through it, and Dad's like, I know who that is. That's Draco's dad.
You know who else he plays? Well, maybe you never saw the new Peter Pan, the new live, not new, but it was new in the early 2000s, the live action Peter Pan. Jason Isaacs plays Mr. Darling and Hook.
Oh,
And
really?
Phenomenal. He is so good as Hook and Mr. Darling.
Well, this movie is a true historical event that happened in Britain during the war.
The mincemeat, what?
I think it's the Mincemeat Project or Affair. Mincemeat. I don't know. I can look it up. Operation Mincemeat.
Operation Mincemeat.
And it was set during I think 1943, and it was kind of it was about this group of agents and people that were the narrator talks about there's war, there's the active war, and then there's the war behind the scenes. And behind the scenes means the people that are plotting stuff, right, to progress the war forward. And so their mission, this group, is to try to figure out a way to make Hitler and his people think that the Allies were going to attack Greece, when in reality, they're going into Sicily. And getting into Sicily was tantamount to winning the war. We needed to get into the mainland. We needed him to think that, and he had great forces there. They needed him to think that they were going to move into Greece. And the project, it is so bizarre what they planned. And there were so many variables that could have stopped it from happening. It depended on every little, all of these things that had to happen with other people in different countries. It all had to go the way they planned it, or it would be a total failure. And it was really, really interesting. And I'm always amazed when I think about like technology in this day and age, and warfare does look totally different now. You know, they were operating with just nothing, teletype and spies and, you know, maps. I mean, it's just incredible what they pulled off. Every time I read or see a movie about some of these things, I'm like, how did they ever pull that? Like even Normandy, when you think about Normandy and the sheer number of troops on all those different beaches, right? Coordinated, they didn't have FaceTime. They didn't have cell phones. I don't know. I just find it very, very fascinating. So anyway, it was well done. I like Colin Firth anyway.
I do too.
I like pretty much everything he does. And yeah, it was good. And it's based on, I mean, it was, I think, pretty true to fact. Like,
I'll
yeah.
look into that one. That sounds good.
Yeah, it was good. And then we're still watching Death in Paradise.
Oh yeah.
But I'm sad because the first guy that plays the detective, he's only on it for 2 seasons.
Oh.
And I didn't know that. I mean, I knew he probably left, but I didn't think he was going to leave that soon. And he, like, the first episode of season 3, he's gone. And you're like, is he joking around? Is he really dead? Is he joking with these people? No, he was really dead.
Oh my gosh.
And so you know who comes on to be the new detective from the mainland? Do you remember in Love Actually? The
I've
young
only seen that once. I probably won't.
Colin is the dude that goes to America because he thinks that all the women in America are going to love him and want to have sex with him. Sorry, because he's English and has an accent. He's like a total doofhead.
Yeah.
He's been on other things, but he comes on board now as this new detective. And it's really funny to watch him. He's still kind of a bumbling idiot, but he's a smart bumbling idiot.
Huh.
So anyway, I was just a little shocked that
Your
there was like no
character-
meetup. All of a sudden, the guy's alive one minute, and the next minute, the main character's dead.
I'm trying to think who that is. We had some book recommendations in our comments.
We did.
I thought I would just read a few of them. So Tammy says, if you like time travel, a book called The Mirror by Marlis Milheiser is great. A young girl on the eve of her wedding day trades places with her grandmother. The girl wakes up in 1900 and the grandmother wakes up getting married and pregnant. Very good book.
That does sound kind of fun.
Let's see. And
What was the name of that one?
that was called The Mirror by Marlis. I'll add them to our GoodReads when I go to upload our video. Marlis Milheiser. Let's see. Julie says that her favorite book is Time Traveler's Wife, so I better give it a try. And she said you both might like The Winter Sea and The Firebird by Susanna Kersley. It jumps back and forth in time. She read them both earlier this summer and really enjoyed them.
I'll have to go back and get those. Look at them. I mean, I did
Sandy
see the-
asked if we watched Virgin River.
Sandy, I have watched season 1. And I did not go back. I don't know why I didn't, because I really loved it. And then, you have to wait for the next season to come out. And I think I think there's 3 seasons now, but I think when season 2 came out, I was already watching a bunch of other things that I was embroiled in, and I never went back and watched it. But I should go back and watch it. I did like it. It's kind of like you've never watched it, have you?
I've watched part of season 1. Yeah, I haven't finished it. I have very little time on my own to watch stuff, and Jesse wouldn't
Yeah.
be for it at all.
Yeah. And season 1 kind of left you hanging a little bit, so I'm surprised I didn't go back and watch it. But yeah, I did like it. Are those based on books?
I have no idea. I was gonna say, I think those are Heather is reading The Yukon Grieves for No One by Lynn M. Berkeley. It's a murder mystery set in the far north of Canada's Northwest Territory, Yukon, and the US, Alaska. Sounds good. I kind of like those, like books that are set. Oh, I like murder mysteries. That sounds like
Whenever I think about reading a book about it set in Canada, I always think of that one that we read for school, Mrs. Mike. Have you read that, Heather?
I read it. Yeah, I read it as an adult and I read it for school, I feel like, and then I read it as an adult. And I bawled my way through it.
And I had only read it the first time when we did it for school, and I was probably pre-read it for you.
Yeah. Have you read that one? If you haven't read
That's
that one,
fascinating.
it's really good. It's really interesting. I don't know how accurate to true life it is, but I feel like I read that it was supposedly based on a true story, but actually it wasn't as much or something as they made it seem like. Probably kind of a little.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
where it's like based on true events, but Laura Ingalls Wilder like tweaked it a ton. Her daughter actually, I think, tweaked it a ton. I'm almost done with Downton Abbey season 6. And let me just tell you that Mary is a witch with a capital B, and I do not like her, and I want her to be taken down a million pegs. That's how I feel about Lady Mary Crawley.
Are you on the last season?
And she is such a nightmare. She's so mean and prideful. She's like a narcissist, like classic narcissist. Oh, she spoils Edith's happiness to get, like, she comes in and she just announces to everybody that that's Edith's baby. And her almost fiance didn't really know. And she was just so awful. I felt like she got better for a while. And then she's gotten so bad. And I'm trying to tell Jesse about it. And he doesn't care. He hates Downton Abbey and he doesn't want to talk about it. And I'm so mad at her. I really like Edith. That's my timer. My children use the timer for their screen time. And then they just let it go until it shuts itself off because they don't want to give up their screen time to come get, like, while they wrap up. They want to finish a few things. So then the timer is constantly.
They aren't all 3 playing at the same time, are they?
What I need to do is buy one of those little buzzy cheapo white timers that does that. That lives in there
with them.
I'm tired of this.
I thought it was something going off here.
No, it's my turn.
I feel like maybe your opinion might change a little bit.
Well, she has a long way to go to redeem herself because I hate her.
Yeah.
So maybe
I have a
they'll,
love-hate with her.
I had kind of a love relationship with her when she was deciding to be the agent and she was interested in the pig farm. And I just feel like she just took a downward turn and I really don't. I feel like she's mean and nasty and unhappy and just making everybody else around her unhappy. That's how I feel about Mary Crawley. Sorry if you're not into Downton Abbey.
Yeah, just keep watching.
Well, I will. I'll finish. I mean, I'm going to finish the season. It's the last season. And then there's, of course, the movies that I haven't watched yet. The other thing we just watched was really interesting. If you're into action, this is way outside the realm of what we usually watch. We are not usually Bollywood kind of people, but this was a Bollywood movie. Technically Tollywood, which I think is just a different region of India from what I was reading online. Tollywood. I think it's just like Bengali rather than maybe, I don't really know what the difference is. It's called, I don't know if you say it RRR or triple R. I can't remember. Jesse said he'd been hearing a ton of stuff about this movie. So we watched it. It was long. It's an epic action type movie. It's 3 hours long. And we split it into 2 nights because there was no way we were going to stay awake for 2 nights for all 3 hours. It's about these 2 guys who are basically revolutionaries against the British occupation or empire or whatever in India, but neither of them knows the identity of each other. They're technically supposed to be hunting each other. Well, one of them is supposed to be hunting the other guy, and the other guy is trying to find this child that had been kidnapped from their village. So there's 2 main characters. One of them is from a tribe who's lost a little girl to this British governor's family. They just stole her. They just took her with them. And he's going to go find her and bring her home to their village for her mom. That's his mission. The other guy's mission, he's a police officer in the British Army or whatever. And he's working for the British, but actually you find out as you watch, I don't think this is giving too much away, but he's actually working really hard to try and get guns that he can get to his village so they can revolt against British rule. So, but in the meantime, as a British officer, he's supposed to hunt down the guy who's there to take back this little girl. But they don't know each other's real identity. So they become best friends. And then of course the drama happens and they have to work stuff out. It is really good. The fight scenes are epic. Like the fight scenes are epic. And I'm not like a huge fight scene person, but these are just choreographed so fascinating. There's a few of the stereotypical Bollywood dance scenes kind of in the middle. It just feels really different than a Hollywood movie. It just feels very different.
Yeah.
But we really enjoyed it. It's subtitles, of course, so you have to read it, which meant my stitching was a little slower. But it was actually really, really good. And it was what I would definitely call kind of epic, just really epic. It was good.
Okay.
I don't remember if it's on Netflix or what. If you're looking for just some kind of a different movie watching experience, it's just the 3 letters R, and they stand for something in, I think, in maybe, I don't know if it's in Hindi or what, but it basically rise, revolt, and something is the translation.
Yeah.
Triple R, maybe on Netflix. Really good. There is some violence. The violence was pretty manageable. Pretty tame until the last maybe third of the movie. Then it kind of ramps up. The fight scenes get more dramatic and there's kind of more. So if you can't handle that kind of fight scene, almost video game violence is what I would kind of call it. Yeah. But it was pretty stunning. Some of it was really impressive. Anyway, that's what we've been doing with our free time.
Yeah.
So that's what we got. I don't think we have anything else to chat about.
I think that's all I got.
So join us. Email us if you want to join in for the Zoom on the 20th of August. If you're watching this later, it's 2022, by the way. So
plan if you want to. Fawn, I'm sorry I didn't message you last week. Like I said, I was going to if you're watching. We do want to start Shepherd's Bush start along.
A few people already said they're going to do it. I think Julie and Heather.
Hopefully the first Let me look at my calendar here. I'm
We
hoping.
need to pick
you
a
know, like
day for starting that.
Saturday the 3rd of September
Or my birthday. We can do it on my birthday in September.
or September. Okay, September 18th.
September 18th, we could start it.
Okay. September 18th, fun.
There's your message.
I don't even know if she has time to watch us anymore. I don't know.
I know, I don't have time to watch anybody right now because I'm school planning and
I watched Tina. I watched one of Carolyn. She's pumping those babies out.
I didn't watch
I'm
anything
behind.
because I was watching Lady Mary Crawley make a mess of her life and others. Oh, I just needed to
Yeah.
totally check out and go into a soap opera for a while.
Yeah.
'Cause
September
that's
18th.
basically what
Okay.
Downton is. It's just a glorified soap
Shepherd's Bush. Also, Gail's Golden Needle, Gail and I, and
There's another person whose name you can never remember.
I don't know. I don't think it's Pumpkin Farm Quilts.
It's not a Little Farm Quilts.
I don't think it's her. Might be her. They're doing another stitch along. Somebody named, I think, Heather. We're doing
yeah.
P. Buckley Moss start along for Gail's birthday. I hate this picture.
What day are you starting it? What's her
I don't
birthday?
know. I just messaged her and said Gail, but she hasn't answered me back.
Okay.
Her
'Cause I-
birthday. Her birthday is in. Where'd my phone go? Her birthday is in August. I feel like it was in the end of August, but she's been kind of quiet on Instagram. I messaged her and I'm hoping she's okay.
Okay. Well, that date will.
She
be
said
announced.
she was her Facebook says she was active today, so. But I think it's the end of the month. I
We're
think it's-
stalking you, Gail. We're stalking
Sorry.
you.
Well, I was looking at my message that I sent her and it says seen yesterday. So
Okay, well, maybe next week we'll have the date to announce.
yeah.
when
But
you're
anyway, so if
starting
you
that
have
song.
any P. Buckley Mosses, we're starting one. Starting them.
So P. Buckley Moss SAL, TBD, Shepherd's Bush SAL, my birthday, September 18th.
And not just this one. You can do any P. Buckley Moss.
Yeah.
This is just the one I have. And I have my threads and my fabric. So excited.
Yay.
I've had this in my stash for so long. I'm
Yeah,
gonna do a stash when I do my yarn closet and go through all my cross stitch to reorganize it. I'm gonna do a stash clean out, I think, again. So whatever Sarah doesn't want, we can do as giveaways, but I've got to be realistic about what I really think I'm gonna ever stitch.
Mhm.
This is ridiculous.
You have a lot going on in there.
A lot going on in there.
A lot going
It's
on.
knocking on the door to get out.
It's pounding the door down and spilling out everything.
Oh my gosh, you guys. But there's just always so many newer, cuter things.
Yeah, I know.
And then I buy the newer, cuter things and I think, okay, I'm going to get rid of the old stuff. And then I go, well, I still like that old, new, cute thing. But,
Yep.
And I should go through a few of my whips and see if I'm really going to ever finish them.
I'll probably be inheriting a few then.
There's a few that I don't know if I'll finish. You know that
Like what?
autumn squirrel?
Yes, that is so cute. Pass that to me and I will finish that. I will display
I'm
it in my
still
house.
on the fence about it. It popped up when I was cleaning out my stuff. I'm like, oh, Kim, just finish this thing.
What the heck? Yeah, you're not that far away from. Well, if you're not going to finish it, give it to me and I will finish it.
I would give it to you.
I'm
if
going
I
to
thought.
keep it.
At the very minimum, I'll give you the pattern if I do decide to finish it.
Oh, you're so funny.
There's just, I don't know. There's just,
You just not like the design anymore. You just don't really feel like dealing with it.
I don't feel like I
I
like,
remember your color issues were a big deal.
I had a lot of color issues and that I think just kind of tarnished it for me. I love my fabric. I dyed it, I grunged it
I'll
up, but
stitch it for you and I'll give it back to you.
No, it's too grungy for the floss colors. So I had to kind of tweak some things and I'm not happy with my tweaks.
Just give it to me and I'll stitch it and then you'll love it because you won't have had to finish it. And then I'll give it back to you and you can fully finish it.
Oh, I'll probably finish it. I'm not that far from being done.
No, you're not. Oh man, see my hair messed up again. Now that's a sign. It's time
When's it going to be time to start fall stitching? Oh, this is big news. We have appointments to get our passport done. Our pictures taken for our passport.
Ooh,
We decided it was time we had passports.
okay.
Well, because you know, starting next year, you have to have a passport or an enhanced driver's license to fly.
Yeah, we probably should do that too.
And I've heard the advanced driver's license, or the enhanced driver's license is no picnic either. In fact, I heard there's a really long wait time to get those.
Oh, really?
Also, if you ever want to sign up for TSA pre-check long-term, there's a long wait time for that too.
Huh.
But, you know, I mean, we thought about maybe taking a cruise, and even if we cruise like up to Alaska, if there's any ports in Canada, we would have to have a passport.
Yeah, right.
It's time. It's time we do it.
It's fine. Wouldn't hurt.
It's good for 10 years, right?
Yep. Sorry, I'm looking at my calendar, making
You
sure
still
I
have yours? Is yours still active, or did you let yours lapse?
have no idea. I've let it lapse, I'm sure. I haven't needed it since for at least a decade, so
Mm-hmm.
I probably would need to update mine. Yep. And Jesse probably has one because he's been to Mexico. Yeah, he would have had to have one when we went before Liddy was born, which was actually more than a decade. We're old now.
You know, she's looking like a teenager.
Yes, she is. Acting like one too.
Hmm?
Acting like one too. In all the best and worst ways. All the ways.
It's not all bad.
No, in good ways too.
The bad ways lead their way to the good ways
I hope so.
eventually. She's a good kid.
She is a good kid. Yeah, she's good. I'm proud of her. She's doing a lot of good things.
You know, she just has to go through her developmental stages.
Mhm.
And got 2 more coming up behind her.
They're like, what's wrong with Liddy? And I was like, just wait. You'll understand in a year. Why is Liddy just always like in the room by herself? Why is she always just doing her own thing?
Because she finally wants to be her own person. Huh?
She's 12 and a half. She's just separating.
It's gonna happen.
It's just the thing they do.
That leap. I remember, I've told this before, Sarah was like 7th grade, which is what Liddy's gonna be next year. And I homeschooled her, and I would walk into her bedroom, and here she was, my little, you know, straight A student, just sitting there staring at her wall in her own world.
I don't remember that at all. I don't remember being like that. I don't remember what I would have been thinking about. I'm not even like a particularly like daydreamy kind of.
I read a lot of things about that age group, that 7th, 8th, and maybe even into 9th grade, that really a lot of curriculums for that age group do not introduce a lot of new concepts. Like they really don't have the mental headspace to grasp a lot of new things because they're in this weird void. Like you said, just kind of like figuring out who they are separate from everybody else, right? I mean, because it's hard to even comprehend it now because you're an adult for so long, but you know, there is that leap. And I remember thinking I had read that, and then all of a sudden you were doing that. And I'm like, what is wrong with this child? Is she actually at that stage already? Yeah, you just got real daydreamy.
So funny.
I don't remember the boys being that way as much though. Well, no, I do.
I don't really remember a lot from that.
They
time.
were a little in a different way, but they were like, yeah, they definitely.
So funny.
Well, and I think, you know, for you too, your girls, you know, you had your closest sibling was a brother, and you guys were close, but in a different way. And so I'm sure when you've got 3 girls as close as yours have been, and they've always shared a room and they do everything together, that probably does feel really different to the younger 2, that she doesn't want to be with them all the time. Or not that she doesn't want to be with them, but that
she's just
you know
not
what I mean?
aware. She's just not aware when we're all together.
her-
she's not necessarily aware.
her life isn't circling around them all the time.
So they'll be in the kitchen like doing stuff with me, and she'll be who knows where, like doing something else, and that's fine. But they'll be like, oh, why isn't Liddy in here?
The fact that they said that to you is a sign that they've really noticed it too, that there's been that shift.
Yeah. Why is Liddy so weird? Really?
Is Liddy in here? Who's in here?
Millie, you like, we're just talking about the different stages as girls get older.
I'm just waiting for you to get weird, Millie.
What?
Get what? Married? Is that what you said?
Oh, weird. I said, I'm just waiting for you to get weird too, Millie.
Just another year, then she'll
I
be.
know.
She's like, I don't want to be a teenager. Like, well, I'm sorry, you don't get a choice. What happened to you?
Let me know how that works out for you.
What happened to you?
Millie, you're going to want to be a teenager when you become a teenager. Trust me. You'll love it.
She's like, no. There will be a lot of fun things that you'll be able to do because
Yep.
I don't know yet. Drive when you're big enough.
You get freedom.
More freedom.
More freedoms.
Yeah, more freedom.
Get to do more fun things.
She left. She's like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Bye.
She really doesn't like change right now.
Really doesn't like change. It'll be, she doesn't really understand that it's just going to happen gradually. It's not like a big deal.
Yeah, all of a sudden, boom, you wake up and you're different.
Well, it is a little, it does feel a little like that with Lily. One day she was this, and then the next day,
Yeah.
whoa, who's this?
Oh,
Anyway, well, we'll wrap
yeah.
up.
We've chattered on.
I don't know. We know that people probably quit watching at some point. That's okay. If you've been stitching and watching this in the end, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so
We
much.
do appreciate you all very much in your nice comments and your book recommendations, which I will add to
Yeah,
Goodreads.
add those to
We'll
it.
have them all kind of in one spot.
I'm gonna go back and I'm just collecting books on my Kindle so that I have a variety of things to read.
Oh, Austin's calling me.
Oh,
I better go answer it.
okay. Love you all.
Happy teaching.